Hi, my name is the Angel Eve, and I'd like to welcome you back to the Angel Arts and Entertainment TV. I'd like to thank you for subscribing, thank you for liking, and thank you for watching this video. Today, I'd like to start off with our mental health section, and I would like to give you a small grip of why mental health and emotional health are really important to me. Um, so I have had someone in my family who has gone through depression, and I've had a up close, and this is a really difficult topic for me to discuss, but I decided to tell you a little bit about myself.
When I wake up, I feel cozy, yeah. Can you hold up? Don't need no coffee yet. Got no makeup. How do you look so fine? Bust up, bust up. How did I make you mine? Stay a minute, another minute. Hold on a second, I love this moment, yeah. Stay a minute.
I've had someone in my family who has battled depression for several years now, and let me first of all start by saying that I'm grateful to God that they are okay, they are good now. Let me just start off by saying that, and I'm so happy about that. And I can tell you that it hasn't been easy. It has been really difficult. It has affected our family. It has affected me personally. So, as we continue talking about mental health, I will give maybe different examples or maybe different experiences that we have had, or maybe I have had personally when dealing with someone with depression. And I have done a little bit of research on the subject, and not just depression, but various sections of mental health. So, having had someone who has gone through depression and having battled anxiety myself, I have had different experiences, and I know a little bit about it. And that's the reason as to why I've decided to talk about mental health. Let me begin by giving a disclaimer. I am not a doctor. In case you're wondering, I'm not a doctor. I'm just someone who has experienced several. I've just I'm just someone who has experienced several issues pertaining mental health. Not just myself, not just my family, but it's something that I have grown to have interest in, and I've been doing a lot of research on it. And that's the reason why I decided that what I know, I shouldn't keep it to myself. I have met several people in different mentorship programs, and I have learned that there are so many things that I can help in when it comes to this, and I hope that we can learn more from each other. Uh, do feel free to reach out, do feel free to ask questions or bring up topics that you'd like me to discuss. I can do a little bit of research, and maybe in the future we can have different interviews from professionals who we can ask questions about various mental health issues and emotional issues. So, one of the topics that I wanted to discuss about today is suicide. The reason as to why I wanted to discuss about it is because it's something that has happened to someone close to a friend of mine recently. So I received a call from a friend, and she was very devastated. She got news that she lost a classmate to suicide, and this is a student from one of the major universities in Kenya. And it's so sad that this is someone who was just about to graduate, and they have been going through several, let's say, like, it has been such a tough time for them, because it's the finals, they're about to graduate, they're dealing with projects and things like that. So there is a lot of pressure when it comes to completing a project. And I don't know the person personally, and I don't really know what exactly was going through their mind. What scared my friend was that she could relate as to why or what had led the person into doing that. And it's scary. And one of the things that she was asking me was that, how do you know that it's that bad? How do you know that this is normal pressure? How do you know that this is anxiety? How do you know how you're feeling, whether it's normal or not? And that's the sad part, that sometimes we go through difficult situations and emotions get overwhelming, and it gets hard to communicate or to tell someone through this. So, having dealt with panic attacks, and to be honest, I didn't know that I was having panic attacks. I just had one major one last year. And then when I started researching about it, I discovered that it's something that I had been experiencing for such a long time. I just didn't know what it was. I just thought it was a normal reaction to failure or losing something. And that's why I decided to start these talks about mental health, because sometimes we don't even understand what is going on with us, and that's the reason as to why we don't seek help. That's why we don't think that it's that bad. One of the things that she learned was that the guy had suffered from panic attacks, a major panic attack, like days before the news got to them that he had decided to take his own life. And when he went to hospital, they did various tests, and they said that he was okay, so he was discharged and taken home. And one of them, what triggered me to want you to talk about this was that when someone goes to a general hospital without necessarily knowing that they're going through a mental health problem, especially here in Kenya, it's really hard for them to diagnose you or to know exactly whether you have a mental health problem. And what's sad is that you have to go through you have to be seen by a specialist, and they have to have several sessions so that they can be able to diagnose what kind of mental health issue you're suffering from. The sad part is that in most general hospitals, when you go to hospital and maybe you're suffering from a panic attack, which has symptoms similar to maybe a heart attack, I'll later on give you some of the symptoms of having a panic attack. So what's sad is that, like, when they do various tests and realize that you're okay, your blood work is okay, and your, let's say, all the various tests are okay, they end up sending you back home. And the problem is never resolved. The reason why I know this is because When my family member was going through depression, we went to hospital several times before we decided to seek a mental institution, a mental health hospital where we can get specialists to help us. Before that, we had gone to various general hospitals, and on most occasions, maybe they will give him normal painkillers, and then he will later go back home. And the sad part is that this is what happened to this guy, and it didn't change what was happening within. And let me give you some of the symptoms of having a panic attack. There is pounding or heart racing. There is sweating or chills, trembling, breathing problems, weakness or dizziness, tingly or numb hands, chest pain, stomach pain, and nausea. So when you go to a general hospital with such symptoms, I think the definite or the first thing they will do is that they'll run blood work. They will try out whether you have to try and rule out diseases, and if your blood work and all the other tests turn out okay, most of the time, if you're not dealing with a specialist, they will give you a few medications and then they'll send you back home. So it took us several years to be able to learn or to seek help to specialists, and later on that's what helped. After seeking a professional, that is when my family member ended up help, and after several sessions, several therapy sessions and medication, they are actually okay and they are running their lives really well. So the reason later on, after talking to my friend a few days ago, I decided to talk to one of my friends who is actually doing medicine right now, and I wanted to find out, like, why is it that in general hospitals it's so hard to diagnose mental health issues. And these are some of the things that she told me. She told me that some of the major topics that they focus on during training and rotations in hospitals are pediatrics, gynecology, internal medicine, and surgery. So as much as, yes, they do go through courses on psychiatry and psychology, it's more of like a semester, but it's never given much emphasis. And when you meet a general doctor in one of the general hospitals, most of them don't have much knowledge on mental health issues. So that is the reason as to why it is so hard for them to diagnose mental health. And I don't know what exactly can be done about this, because when you realize all the major crises that we have been seeing in the news about the murder, people killing each other, people committing suicide, people killing their partners and then killing their kids, their wives or spouses, killing their spouses and then killing themselves, and you realize that mental health issues is a crisis in Kenya right now. What exactly can we do about it? I think there should be a major focus on mental health training in hospitals with doctors in schools that are training medical practitioners, and also in most institutions. And I will suggest that we should have psychologists actually internally in institutions such as schools, such as companies, and especially major organizations such as the Kenya Police, the government, and in general, I think everywhere there should be someone who is well trained, who people can talk to, especially when they are going through such tough times. It is safe to say that this is a major topic and this is just the beginning, and everything that I will be talking about is my opinion. And I'm really hoping that people embrace this and and embrace and normalize the topics on mental health issues. These are things that are affecting us on a day-to-day basis, and I'm really hoping that we can try and help each other to find solutions on such issues. I do look forward to talking to you more about mental health issues. I do hope to seeing more of you. I do hope to opening up conversations about mental health issues. I hope that we can all embrace and acknowledge that this is a major crisis in our country. And I hope that we can come up with solutions that are workable. And I hope that you can also join me in this fight against mental health issues and emotional health issues. Wishing you peace of mind, wishing you love, wishing you joy, and I hope that you will all okay. I hope that you are all well. And until next week, bye bye.